Hello, I am Zoltan and I would like to present my mystical experience regarding term the Hetman, which is well known in many countries, many cultures all over the world. It has been happening to me since my childhood. I would have bad dreams or nightmares sporadically. In most cases, my main enemy in the nightmares was always the same tall man. I never saw his face, but I felt that he was always the same man. He was always dressed in a long coat that looked like a raincoat, and always had a huge white hat on his head that covered his whole face, and only his red eyes shone through the darkness. He always tried to intimidate me in those dreams, at least in the worst case, to kill me. Such dreams were repeated to me from my childhood until I was about 35 years old, when I started to understand the whole situation, events, and certain contexts. When I was 20, these attacks were very strong, and during materialistic socialism, I didn't even know what all this meant and how to defend myself because I couldn't access any spiritual literature except the Bible. So I used prayers and they helped me before, but not always and not in the same way. A lot of things changed when I understood certain contexts after about my 20s, and I learned to defend myself not only by prayer but also by displaying the sign of the cross and other symbolism. And I managed to reflect those attacks better. But above all, it was thanks to an understanding of the context. However, after my 30s, the attacks started to repeat. I was very upset and I didn't understand it. After a few years, I got help from a clairvoyant who advised me on what to do and how to do it. I learned that the highest power is love, but true inner love is energy that springs from the deepest interior of a person, and which is not only an emotion but also a form of immense spiritual energy. Everyone can also learn how to work with this energy. It can and should be used for mastering and improving human everyday life. After learning to work with this energy in a certain way, with the intense help of light beings, I began to send this energy to this negative being. Whenever this negative being appeared next to me, at that time I had already learned to feel non-physical beings in my daily consciousness, and not only in dreams. I directed the flow of energy directly to him. It needs longer and deeper preparation. This flow of energy gradually caused his negative attacks to weaken constantly after each visit. After less than half a year of intense energy work, a special moment came. Although I am not clairvoyant, I was able to see the event with my inner vision. The last time this negative being came to me again, at that time I already knew who he was and why it was all happening. I sent him a stream of energy again, and suddenly I saw the following. The headman stopped, but he was still wearing the same raincoat and the white brimmed hat. But his radiance began to change completely. Suddenly he raised his head and looked directly at me. He never did it before. I saw his red eyes and for the most part his face. His face was quite like a human face. Suddenly not only his expression began to change, but at the same time the color of his eyes changed from red to blue. I later learned that this was the transformation of negative being into a positive being, soul, capable of further development, means further incarnations that can lead one's soul to the light. After completing the transformation, he asked me for forgiveness for everything he had done to me. Since I already knew what all this meant, I also asked him for forgiveness, and at the same time I told him from the depths of my heart that I forgive him. We greeted each other like two old friends, and as we had met before in the grey castle. At that moment, a huge pillar of light, the light gate, appeared in the room, and within it, the beings of light manifested. They thanked me for the help I gave to this being and bestowed their blessings upon me. After that, they disappeared in the light gate, and a couple of minutes later disappeared the gate too. Since that moment, I have not experienced any nightmares or attacks from that being again. This experience has taught me a great deal about the power of spiritual energy. Thank you for your attention and listening. I hope you can learn from this experience. Have a nice day. Bye.